p.m. the next day. You could have mistaken that for being bot. It's like, no,
absolutely.
this is old school. Like, people play it.
Yeah, we know
crazy hours.
We know someone's been botted. It's not hard to tell. And the mistakes, I put in the thread as well. The mistakes the errors are caused by human error. You know, somebody's looked at the data and they've interpreted it incorrectly. It's not the data's wrong, and then all it takes is somebody else to look at that and see that as well. So, you know, that's easily checked. It's not a case the whole system's falling apart because the data is still absolutely correct. Yeah. It's just somebody has interpreted it incorrectly. Sometimes it's pressing the wrong button. Sometimes it is seeing something which isn't there. So, you know, it's really not difficult to double check in an instant, really.
Did you say data?
I did say data.
Yeah. Done it. All right. Moving on. Throwaway asks, can we get a message in the chat box telling us when we get a clue scroll?
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Do you get one already for the? You do get one for
Champion
the
scrolls. Yeah, I did that.
And also the clue scrolls in a bottle.
Oh, does it? I
think you do.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So yeah. Declaws, most weapons in RuneScape are inferior options to the scimitar. Is there any chance you could tackle this lower level balance and improve the weapons so that there are more options at lower levels as well?
The thing is, there will always be one that comes out superior overall, and whatever that is, be it the scimitar or a battle axe or a short sword, that's what will take precedence. They'll never be exactly the same in terms of DPS at every level.
I think they're all situational as well. Like the 2H is best for PKing as a KO weapon. The battle axe can also be used as that, but it's kind of a nice in between. Like, granted, the mace sucks. The spear isn't fantastic.
The dragon spear.
You know, no, like a rune spear, for example.
Rune spear, yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we could try and rebalance all of combat, but the last time someone tried that, we know how it turned out, and I don't see that being very popular.
Indeed.
Moving on.
Just about, actually, someone mentioned about the about bossing and one AHK 1 versus 1 inputs to output type things. Now that came about years and years ago because somebody wanted something definite to say on the forums, and a member of the bot team at the time said, well, basically, this is something we look at. It was wrong at that time, and it has been wrong ever since, and it took us a good few years to actually come around and say that it was wrong. So if those who are saying that one input equals one output is a correct way of using a script, that's not true at all. The advice, this is from ModWeave himself, says if you try and automate anything, doesn't matter what it is, you run the risk of being banned. So that's the advice you've got to work to. This 1 equals 1 is nothing. So forget you ever heard that.
All right, be good. I'm gonna take that off this highlight, and so when someone asks this question, I'm just gonna link into that. That comes up way too much. Troy asks, if Monkey Madness 2 passes, when will we get to see it in game?
May is the aim, so around that time, roughly.
Okay. You've been itching your beard off me.
Sorry?
Have you itched your beard yet?
No, not yet. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on Monkey Madness 2 at the moment. So I've got a few NPCs done.
It's your swan song, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm trying to do as much as I can for it.
So
you're trying to get the boss
it doesn't like it. It's
I've done the
Alpha's
boss.
fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you finished the boss then?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the gorillas.
Are we going to keep that a secret until the quest is actually out?
I won't
Probably.
spoil too much.
Yeah, we won't. We want to reveal as little as possible about the quest and the storyline, so that when it goes out on release day, you can explore it and experience it like a quest should be.
Awesome. Jnox asks, are there any plans for an alternative way to train fire making? He suggested something on in addition here. He said, could logs have a left-click burn option while your character is wielding a bow?
I think we might need some engine help to get the ops changed based on what you're wielding, but it could be done.
Why would you?
You can use a bow to light a fire.
Yeah, barbarian training. But in terms of other ways to train the skill, we do have a design somewhere for a skilling boss.
Yes, yeah, it was
quite fire
I
making
have to remember what it was now.
Winter Todd?
Fire pits, it was called, wasn't it? Is what we called it. The precept behind the concept behind the idea is that you have different pits that are located around the world. And you can do different things on those pits, but you have to sort of start a fire there. Not like bonfires, so you don't just chuck logs on there. You start a fire, and then, for example, you might get a better chance of cooking a particular type of fish or a particular type of food on that fire. And as you go up the levels, fire making would open up, new pits that you could start and do more stuff. So, for example, you could be able to smith some bars without using coal because you're making it all there at the time, and sort of work that sort of thing going on. So it gives you more, rather than a different way of training, more use for fire making. And again, you go to some which will replenish your health quicker, so you can, in combat areas, you might have several small ones you can light and it will keep your health going on and stuff like that. So there's all these sort of bits and bobs you can do with fire, which would be quite cool.
It does sound much nicer than just clicking tinderbox then log.
Exactly.
We've also got the Winter Todd skilling boss design for Zaya at some point this year as well.
I think, speaking of fire making, I think Jed was working, if he hasn't already finished it, I don't know when it's going to make it to the game, so that fires can go over flowers, which would be a nice little thing. Fix ragging with that.
Yes, indeed.
Next question then, Llama asks, can you make the Alcarid teleport on the glory place you outside of the bank? This could be a desert achievement die reward.
Like that.
Yeah, we can. Just needs polling.
Cool. Sure defeat. Any chance of modifying the amulet of the damn set effects? It says Torax, Rex, Carol's Arms are now kind of lackluster. I like Carol's personally. I think it's not the worst.
Yeah, Carol's is actually one of the more powerful of the 6 that it offers.
Virax and
We've got to
Arms.
be careful with it, haven't we? Because we can't have it make other pieces of armour less useful.
What's the price of an amulet at the minute? Do we know?
I haven't got a clue. I know it's not. I don't know. If you have the option to use the Fury, you're going to use the Fury.
But if you're using a Barrow set anyway, it was there to just help buff those effects. You'd switch in and out rather than be sat in the 5 items all the time. I
Might be
can't remember
worth-
what they all do off the top of my head either. 200k?
Yeah.
Torags, you have to be what? Lower HP increases your defense. It's kind of like an opposite of Derox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
If they've got suggestions, send them over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Don't promise
200,
anything.
220k apparently for an amulet of damn right now. That is pretty cheap. All right. Slay Masters, can Abyssal Demons turn aggressive if you have a jar of miasma in your inventory? They really like this aggressive monsters permanently idea.
I think so. AFK
yeah.
Yeah. Which we probably don't want to be doing, bearing in mind the success we have in Nightmare Zone. There's sarcasm in there, by the way.
If it's just Abyssal Demons, are they going to ask for anything else that comes with a jar?
No,
It
there's all
starts a
sorts,
trend
yeah.
that we just don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, they'll start looking at things such as can we have a spell which will let us do it, or a prayer that we can use to do it, and that sort of thing.
We messed around with the spell idea. Yeah, it ended up being quite OP. Okay.
So there's all sorts.
Gus, could the login limit when hopping too fast be removed or increased? It's annoying when you're hopping worlds trying to buy and sell items.
It has been increased fairly recently. We can look at increasing it again, but don't hold your breath. There are various security-related reasons as to why it's not just unlimited, and they have to be looked at before anything else.
It's an interesting thing here saying from Lawrence in the chat there saying, why work on stuff pre-poll? This is how you end up wasting time. Generally we don't, however some things we are pretty sure are going to pass a poll, so we can start working on them, such as Monkey Madness, which is what, 89%. So makes sense for us to do it. And what we've got to remember as well is we're in quite an odd position at the moment with Alfie leaving in a couple of weeks. We need to fill up his time for a couple of weeks, and what's the best thing to get out of him? If we get Monkey Madness out of Alfie before he goes, then we've got Gareth working on the raids, and then that is our artistic debt for the next 6 months. So that's a logical thing to do.
In addition, people saying sailing. A lot of people have said that we spent so much time deving sailing before we even pulled it.
No dev touch sailing. That was just me in a couple of afternoons throwing together a couple of prototypes to see how it might work.
Yeah, exactly.
There was some cool concept art, but there wasn't anything like people thought we put in so much effort into.
Exactly. I mean, the effort goes into the design, and we can't do. We can't poll it without a design, so that has to happen. And then the stuff that you did was a few pretty pictures being made and a few fake things put together to make it look like how it would look in game, not a design of it.
It's tough for me because you're like, all right, make a video for sailing. I'm like, but we don't have sailing, and nothing in the game looks like sailing, except for this log that goes down a cutscene, like. And there's a boat over here, but it doesn't move.
So stick a new transmog on and hop around somewhere was sort of, I think, the way we ended up doing it, wasn't it? But it is all faked, you know. It's there to make it give you an impression of what it would look like in game and an idea of how you connect that concept with how it would work in game, rather than actually it working in game. So
just like the sorry, go ahead.
All of the interfaces from those sailing devlogs were actually just made by Ronan in Photoshop as well. They didn't even create those.
Ronan's the Photoshop master. The ballista. Obviously, we weren't sure if Monkey Madness was going to pass the poll, so the ballista on the Monkey Madness 2 dev blog, you can see it's just a person, which he then took the ballista from, I think, the Gnome Stronghold place, and then threw on a javelin on top of that, and kind of memed it together.
Memed it.
Memed it together, yeah.
It looks good, though. Looks good.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's interesting how we do it, but like I say, very few things are actually developed before we poll them. And the things that are things. We have something here called Thursday all-day personal projects, call it Tap Time, where once every 2 weeks, every member of staff gets a day to work on a project for themselves, whether it's something they want to make in game, because they've always wanted to see what it was like, or something where they learn something new so they can expand their knowledge and skill sets. And some of the things that we do, or the development guys do, they take that time and make things such as the Dragon Claws, for example, were made free before we did anything with that, because that's how it was done. And you know, that's another way of putting it in there without actually impacting any dev time with the team.
Where's Ronan? He's ill right now.
Yes.
Should hopefully be back for tomorrow. He's got Game Blast. He's going to make it the whole 24 hours.
Oh, he'll be back regardless of whether he's still sick or not.
He's getting a bowl cut tomorrow as well.
And some stuff's just
Exciting
really,
stuff.
really easy to make and really quick to make. You guys might think it takes ages, but it doesn't really.
Yeah. They're like, haha, you put so much time into this and it didn't make it. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah, like
We're going to live.
my time.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Sorry, stuck on that for a bit. Scott asks, when will we be seeing any news on Dead Man Seasonals? You said end of March?
Yeah, 1st of March you'll have all the news.
Cool. Kunik asks, could more Falador guards be added to the south side of Falador? It'd be another spot to kill guards for medium clues.
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
Okay.
I'm all up for more guards.
Phony says, assuming Xanite rewards don't pass the poll, what rewards will Monkey Madness 2 have?
It does have a lot of rewards that aren't even mentioned in the dev blog. We mentioned the ballista because it was something new and wanted to give you that info, but it's not polled separately because it's not best in slot or new highest damage or anything like that. There's going to be a typical array of XP rewards that would come with a quest. There's some cosmetic things and the other things I don't want to mention because it's going to be a secret.
There's post-completion rewards.
Yeah, there are plenty of rewards, and they're not just things that have been thrown down or come out of nowhere. They're all tied to the storyline as well, which is why we're not mentioning them.
Yeah. And the ballista will come with
Like
Monkey
the new
Madness 2
saber skill that
regardless.
comes with the quest.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Ili asks, can you please explain why you chose 10% chance of 5% heal for Xanite jewelry?
We pulled those numbers out of thin air. As working somewhere to start from, decided they were okay and put them on the poll.
It's tough because a lot of people are actually saying that was underwhelming, whereas others were saying this is crazy OP, don't vote for this. So
Yeah, I can see why people are going both ways. Those that had probably looked at the numbers and worked it out and realised that, okay, it's like a 0.3% chance to, you're healing a total of like 0.3% of what you're actually dealing in damage, whereas others would just see, oh no, deal damage, heal hit point, it's soul split, let's vote no.
Okay.
That's where my assumptions are, at least.
Right. Nino asks, currently the Trident gives a message every 100 charges used. Could the same be done with the Ivan staff?
Sure.
Easy enough. Lepel, could Tears of Guthix have a fixed weekly reset rather than 1 week after you've last done it?
No. I think we had a bit of feedback on that, didn't we? Which was many players don't want things to turn into a weekly sort of thing. And if you have a set time for it to happen, it feels more weekly than personal to you.
You definitely feel more obligated on that day.
Exactly.
For sure.
So I think the answer to that is probably no.
Yeah, I think a lot of
a
lot of them are quite anti sort of scheduled play time kind of thing.
So it doesn't alter the game by not doing it. It keeps it the same as it is, but by doing it, I think it will make people think it should stuff and words put together in a sentence that answer that question.
Moving on. Coftrin asks, can you make it so we can note bad wines?
Unfermented wines, they're untradeable. No.
Is there a reason why they wouldn't be noted?
Because they're untradeable.
Because they're untradeable.
Is there a reason why they're untradeable? Is there a reason why they're untradeable?
I'm not all that familiar with the content, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
In bad wines, I assume have no use for anything, and all this person wants to do is drop them all at once rather than have to drop them one by one.
Yeah.
Probably.
So.
But the thing is, you shouldn't have that many bad wines because you stop.
We don't have players like that. They want to do the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, but you can't make bad wine off like level 50 cooking. It's impossible. You just.
Okay.
It might even be lower than that. It's like 36.
When we get that report come through, That'll tell us how many
Yeah.
battle wines there are, and then we can see if it's worthwhile doing on top of that. But by the sound of it, it's only non-tradable because we've decided it's non-tradable rather than any real reason for
Yeah,
it.
we can certainly stop it.
In which case, we make them tradable, and then they can note them and drop them.
Okay. Moving on. Lasby asks for the Clue Scroll bottle rates.
Soon, TM.
Soon. It shouldn't be too much longer. That was a while back now.
I'll let someone else release those because it's not my content.
Okay. Through, would it be possible for the baby chin chompet to maintain its golden form when placed in a player-owned house, or at the very least give us a warning that it will change form when stored? I'm kind of salty.
It should have kept its form if you put it in.
The menagerie.
The what, sorry?
The menagerie.
Menagerie.
What'd you call it?
Menagerie.
Menagerie?
Menagerie.
Is it French?
You should know.
It's French
no.
origin.
Oh. That's
I'll
weird.
double check that.
What a weird word. Okay, whatever. Chat can eat me for that one. Moving on. SW Mang says, can the Corporal Beast defense stats reset to default when his hit points does?
Yeah, we probably should look at that when you leave the area.
The only reason I could see that people asking for that is so that Iron Men couldn't get their solo kills anymore. Is that not like the
I
only
can
thing that comes to
imagine that
mind?
being the case, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicki Menagerie.
I believe in RuneScape when Corp first came out, its stats were not reset, just hit points. I would like to keep that behavior.
I mean, it is difficult enough for Iron Men to kill this thing. It takes them like over half an hour, and then if somebody touches it, they don't get the kill. I think expecting them to be able to do it in one trip is simply impossible. This would make Corp impossible for Iron Men,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
guaranteed.
I mean, I'm up for changing it, but it probably, well, no, it would.
Unless
I'd
they're
need that
Wooks,
hold.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, 2009 Scape. Why are you pulling letting peers access Ape Atoll and therefore Monkey Madness 2? Some people upset that we even pulled this option, thinking that it would kind of like make the grandmasterness of this quest not so grandmastery.
I think they'd very much struggle with the boss fight based on our designs anyway.
Yeah.
But the reason we offered it was because it was first offered, I think, in the second or first ever Quality of Life poll Old School
very
did.
early on.
We've had a huge sweeping change in the player base since then. We've now got Abstain as well. And it made sense to offer it with Monkey Madness 2 because it is an extra incentive for it to go through or not. None of us actually expected it to pass, but
No.
or even come close. But the fact that it's around 50% means 50% of you would have asked us to poll it anyway.
Yeah.
So we
That's
just,
the thing, if we hadn't have polled it, the question we'd be answering now would be, why didn't you poll this at the same time?
Yeah.
So, there you go.
I don't see why anybody would be upset. It's not going to pass anyway, so. there you
Would
go.
that mean that the Pure would have to finish Monkey Madness 1?
No,
Yeah.
they'd just be able to go back and they could chin, or
So
would they
they'd be
have
able
to
go
finish
back to
it?
Apex?
well, you'd have to have completed Monkey Madness, but we'd let you go back without claiming the rewards.
Right.
Oh, so no defense. Okay. Fair enough.
But I think we were going to stop them from doing RFD if they did do that.
So they wouldn't be able to get out of gloves then?
Yeah, I think that was raised. I don't know if that's actually the question that went out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not looking like it's going to pass the poll anyway, so. Moving on. Grammy asks, this is a good question. Can you add a large lake area that players can freely canoe around? Players would be able to fish from their canoes.
Sounds like sailing to me.
This sounds pretty cool just there. But then he goes on to continue and he says, visit various islands and boats in the area, possibly go diving beneath the water, fishing and fighting new creatures.
So, what's the name of the person? Was it what? John?
Grammy.
That
Well,
does
John
sound
C?
exactly like what I put in my test stream.
Yeah, a large lake where you can go around on a canoe and find different fishing spots, and that sounds kind of cool. I would do that for sure. If the fishing spot moved and then, you got to paddle down here.
That sounds quite
Yeah,
fun,
that
this
does
little thing.
sound
fun.
I like that bit. Yeah.
No,
But,
you get the sailing skill or nothing at all. That's the deal.
It's just a canoe. You can't throw a sail on it. All right, you can only go so quick in a canoe. I kind of like that idea. Moving on.
No, not about sailing.
I'm still salty.
Pineapple. When will Mod Go start working on the raid boss designs for Zaya?
Soon TM.
Okay.
He's got a few things to do with Zaya.
He's just-
Revamping Zaya. It's probably another week or so, and then he's going to be making bosses after
He's
that,
just
I think.
tweeted some really cool chat heads for Zaya. If you guys haven't seen those.
Actually,
Yeah.
before I
There's a ton of stuff.
came down, I was chatting to him, and he thinks he can animate the chat heads in such a way that they looks like they're saying certain phrases now.
That's quite cool. That's quite cool.
It's a prototype work in progress. Soon TM maybe
So
never
they don't
happen
just
kind of
kind of
thing.
nod their head when they speak.
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually,
That's good.
animated mouth and stuff.
Ryu, please repull higher level trees that failed on like 74.7% ages ago.
They are in the Zaya 2 thing.
Is it redwoods? Or did we call it the ash tree or something like that? What were we going for?
It was redwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shower asks, can metal dragons drop metal scales that stack? The scales could then be smelted into bars at a furnace, maybe enough for 1 to 2 bars per dragon.
That's actually a better solution than having drop bars that won't ever get.
We've had
It's true.
a whole bunch of different options asked here. So people said, like, can you put an anvil in the dungeon with the dragons? Can you let us note the bars? But having metal scales instead, which can then be converted into bars, that actually kind of makes sense.
I like this. I'd be interested. Straw poll would be interesting if you wouldn't mind, Maz.
I'll ask the question again. Can metal dragons drop metal scales that stack? The scales could be smelted into bars at a furnace, give or take 1 or 2 bars per dragon's worth.
And I'd have this drop instead of the bars.
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that. That's a very good idea. I never did understand iron bars from metal dragons at all.
Kind of makes sense. It just doesn't make sense that they drop
It doesn't
exact
make sense that
perfect
they're
square
bizarre,
bars.
Yes, indeed.
It doesn't make sense why they're holding left shield halves or whatever. Anyways, a visage is
they
its
get-
face falling
See,
off.
I can understand them dropping weapons and things because obviously they get weapons stuck in them as the people
okay.
try and attack them and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why a steel dragon drops 2 bowls of curry is.
You saved it for later. I'll get that straw poll in the chat for you guys. Let's move on to the next question then. The new guy asks, currently when using a furnace, it will take coal from your coal bag. I think it'd be a really and quality of life change if the conveyor belt at blast furnace also took coal from the coal bag. Did we get there?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, easy enough. Can I get the results there from that straw poll? You guys are voting on that? Wow, 95%. Holy
It's
cow.
impressive, that, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. The last time they voted 95% was for me to try the donkey sausage on the last stream.
You really didn't want to eat that
Yeah,
thing.
it was terrible.
You swallowed
It
that,
was
didn't
fine.
I didn't.
You did swallow it.
Thank you, Alfie.
It's okay.
Okay. Do you guys want metal dragons to drop metal scales that stack and then can be smeltable into bars at a furnace, sitting at 95% for those of you at YouTube?
It's impressive,
who
that
aren't
is.
seeing this drop poll. Okay. PK asks, could we possibly get tier 1 emblems in the Grand Exchange? I don't get why we don't do this.
Yeah.
There was a technical reason why they weren't in there. I can't remember what that is off the top of my head, but it
Okay.
was something really annoying to try and work around.
They obviously are the only emblem that's tradable. They go for like 75k-ish.
What is the rate of getting an emblem, do you know,
From what?
from a bounty target?
You're guaranteed to upgrade yours if you have one in your inventory.
Yeah, the drop
The
rate
ones
changes
drop
based
by-
on combat level.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
can't remember the numbers off the top of my head.
Okay.
So I get one like every 20 kills. I'm like,
You get
That's not
20
much.
kills?
every
You've killed 20 people.
Mate, I'm the best PK here, okay? So,
Best 4 defense Fury.
All right. 13. Slisky asks, can we get a month dedicated to engine quality of life updates? I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, why not?
Can everybody take a break except for Ian for a whole
Yeah,
month?
so which quality of month update do they want for that month?
Oh, which one? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be lovely. But no.
For those of you who don't get the joke, we only have one engine guy. He's very busy. He has a big task of things to do.
Yeah.
And therefore, only the very, very, very high priority stuff can get done.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, the way to look at it, in order to deliver the raids, to deliver any clan updates that we want to do, to deliver the seasonal servers, Deadman seasonal servers, to do the other stuff after that that we haven't spoken about yet, Ian needs to do stuff for that lot. If he doesn't do stuff for that lot, we don't have the Deadman seasonal servers, we don't have the raids, we don't have the clan stuff. So they take priority. So there you go.
Okay. Where are we at here? There's an image with this next question, hopefully. Dragon says, can we get this shortcut? I agree.
I'd rather just open it up, to be honest. Doesn't need an agility shortcut. Let's just remove some fence
I don't know.
I don't know, I like more use
That is
variability.
Oh, we've done a lot of shortcuts. And it's such an annoying place.
I can see what it's going to say
Yeah.
on Reddit in a minute. Mod lazy.
Let them say it.
Mod hates
It
agility.
should just be open. There is no reason for that to be fenced off.
It's true.
Yeah. that is-
Whoever put that fence there hates rock crabs.
Yeah.
Especially when they've got a load more rock crabs on the other side of the fence.
Yeah. Make it a 2 defense requirement to climb that fence.
Okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. Just do that.
Okay. But to answer the question, yes. How, we don't know yet. Figure that out. Moving on.
But people blow it up with cannons. They'll take the cannon there to blow it up.
Yeah. Can you increase the amount of time a bird's nest stays on the ground before it disappears?
I think it's at its maximum right now. Would that be really fiddly to try and change
I
that?
think it's set the same for everything, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah.
Things appear in birds.
Maz?
No point, but they do disappear quicker, but it's to make you pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those that missed it, they do disappear quicker, but that is to make you pay attention. I think we have increased that time at least once in the last couple of
Yeah,
years. And we can increase it further.
We can. We just won't. Wow. Okay. Next question. Let's see here. How long until we can see the shuffle button for music? Another Ian question, isn't
Have we got a
that?
job for that?
That's
Yeah.
2 next gen, man.
We don't have a job for
I
that.
was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've not even seen a job for that. So,
It's been a question
Is
that's
this
kind of been
sort
like, well, that would be really nice, but does it take priority over this big update?
That's the way we look at
That's
it.
the thing. I mean, what you've got to remember is we could probably do, I don't know, 1,000 hours worth of work a week. We currently have 3 devs, which is 120 hours worth of work a week. So we have to look at the top 120 hours worth of important stuff, rather than taking everything in the top 1,000 hours that we could spend time on.
It's an engine job, isn't it? The shuffle button?
I don't know.
I would think so.
No
I'd
idea.
imagine it probably
Yes,
could be
it
done
is.
with content.
Okay. Would have been a good one for the month of quality of life stuff. Too late. Moving on. Till D asks, with April Fool's coming up, do you have any plans?
Yes.
Let's leave it at that. Okay. Dad asks, can we get a buff to the runner hat from Barbarian Assault? Right now it's the same defense bonuses as the Rune Full helmet, while requiring a higher defense level.
But it looks so funky.
Maybe a weight reduction bonus or lowering the requirement to just 40. Isn't it like 42 right now or some weird number?
Probably. Weight reduction we can do. That makes sense.
Okay. Cool. Land asks, can you add the rest of the unreleased quests from 2007?
Okay, so we've got most of Land of the Goblins and most of the Path of Glovery. Still needs some work to actually get them to a stage where we could release them. I believe they were polled in one of the first
Ages
two
ago, yeah, ages
back
ago.
in 2013 and failed quite miserably. We can offer you those two. Any other quest that you would want, we would have to recreate from scratch, which typically we won't offer to do because the chances are we won't get it bang on.
Yeah. And the thing with Quest as well, and the issue we've always had with Quest is that A, they've never been super high priority, B, the replayability factor of them is really low, which means the amount of effort we have to put in to make one isn't great for the amount of gameplay that you guys enjoy from it. So it makes it a really sort of minimal return on the amount of time we put into it. This is why we went with Monkey Madness 2, basically because it was the biggest quest that we could do, which fitted in nicely with everything else, in order to test sort of the hypothesis that there is a demand for quests in Old School. And it is a good demand, it isn't just a few people wanting quests. So we're going to see what happens from Monkey Madness 2, and depending on the results from that, we will deal with that. So that's the reason we'll plan out future strategy based on how Monkey Madness does, and then future quest on from that if you want to do it. But to be honest with you, I bet you'd probably rather see a quest on Zaya than either of those two quests anyway.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
a better one.
something I'm trying to write by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think you might be brushing against your sweater there, Matt.
Do you think?
Well, no, because apparently mine was crackling as well.
Gee, that's too bad, isn't it? It's going to have to stay there. Okay. 52 asks, could you stop the "your pouch is full and your pouch has no essence in it" messages from appearing when the game is filtered?
This goes backwards and forwards every couple of weeks. We have
Yeah.
people telling us to filter it, people to tell us not to filter it, so we just kind of leave it alone.
Okay. Centec, Abyssal Sire should give more Slayer XP as it currently gives a third of what Cerberus gives per hour.
I didn't hear a word of that.
Abyssal Sire should give more Slayer XP because Cerberus gives 3 times as much
Is it? Okay.
per hour.
Yeah.
I think we talked about taking it up anyway. It won't be in line with Cerberus because it's got a whole load more to offer in terms of drops. But it was on a Q&A about a month ago. I think we said we were going to do it anyway.
Okay. Capopolo asks, will there be any forced teamwork in Monkey Madness 2 like there was in Shield of Arav?
No.
Wouldn't that be just
What?
mean?
Why would somebody think we would do that?
I don't know.
'Cause
Did it
we-
before?
Was Children of Rav needed for Monkey Madness?
You need a partner?
No.
No, I can't imagine that you would.
What quest was it you need a partner? The Black Game
Heroes
partner,
quest,
Black
I
Arm
think.
partner, whatever it's called.
It was Heroes and
Heroes,
Legends, isn't
Heroes.
it? That's all the way
Not
through.
Legends.
I
Heroes.
swear Shield of Rav you need a partner.
Shield
Yeah,
of
you do.
Rav you do, then it goes on to Heroes because
Okay.
you need
It's
it
like
for
the
the Heroes
Phoenix
quest.
gang.
Yeah, and
That's
I
right.
did
Black Arms.
the Heroes quest. I finished it and I was level 18 combat. And
Nice.
I was standing outside. I used lots of help from other people, you see. I'll tell you what, it was not easy. So I finished Heroes quest now. I was standing outside the Heroes Guild, and these 2 people, level 60 something, standing there going, "Oh, I've only got to do 3 more quests so I can get into the Heroes Guild." I was like, level 18. All right, guys. Double take moment.
No, we're not going to make you need a partner to do Monkey Madness 2.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Mind you,
Um,
maybe we should.
Yeah, we
Just
should.
to
We've
annoy
still
them.
got time.
There's still time.
I think we've got enough annoyance in it already.
Get them right to the end, and then just be like, sorry.
Now you've got to interact with another person on the internet.
Ugh, human contact.
Okay.
Let's talk to people.
Is this asks, can random events not take run energy? So the maze doesn't, but I'm pretty sure the rest of them do.
There's only one more that involves running, and that's pinball.
Yeah, that is so annoying.
You know the
Then don't
top,
do it. They're optional.
Yeah, you know the top 1,000 kills and that sort of thing that we used to do quite regularly when we were bosses. Do you know what the first one of those was that we did?
Top random event completed.
No, it was the top 100 maze things openings at 99%.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was quite cool. What we got from 100 of those, that was quite cool. That was what
So-
They
started
actually
all
give
that off.
quite a lot.
They do. You
They
get it
do.
at 99%. You
Yeah.
can make bank in no time at all. I mean, it puts all to shame, quite frankly.
So to answer the question, if it's just the pinball one, yeah, just don't do the event. Okay. Slendigo has a suggestion here. He says, oh, this is a very suggested one actually. He says, can we please have holding shift move drop to the top option for items in your inventory? This way you could left click to drop items.
Absolutely not. I
Shut
don't think
down.
I need to explain why.
Okay. Next question has a couple images here. We'll try to get these on the screen for you. Havarti says, make the Nightmare Zone area look a little bit less like a private server.
What's that?
So that's a floor from an aerial view. We'll go to the next image if we can, so you can see it from a bit more of a side view. So it's got like a black room with purple
So those are cracks. Purple
cracks through the floor.
That's quite nice.
What a new environment.
I mean,
The whole thing about Nightmare Zone as well is that it was effectively a private server thing. So when it was made without any new tools, any new mapping tools or anything else. So it was a case of Ash and Nexus at the time cobbling together what they could from the limited amount of tools that we had to do anything with it.
I still have no idea how they managed it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, from a tech point of view of making that with what we had at the time is absolutely amazing. But from a end user point of view, it looks like a private server because that is the best we could do at that time.
And the time they had as well. They did
I
really
think
well.
it's really just a matter of
Indeed.
adding a texture to the floor. Like it's just a boring brown floor, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like it
just
shouldn't be that
welcome to Old
difficult. I think a drastic change like that, suddenly walking into Nightmare Zone, somebody who maybe doesn't follow the game updates is just going to freak out and be like, and it makes no sense.
A drastic change like walking to the Nightmare Zone lobby without hundreds of people spamming at the time. That's a drastic enough change.
Well, we're putting in that thing soon.
Exactly. That should be quite nice.
Okay. Next question then. Amran asks, can you look at adding clue scrolls to other popular Slayer creatures like you did with the Black Demons, Fire Giants, for example?
Sure, fire giants. None of those come to mind. If anyone else has got suggestions, send them over and we
Just
can
use-
discuss them.
What are the most popular
like
Slayer
Dust
creatures
Devils.
that
Dust
don't
Devils.
have
Oh, that's
a
right.
clue scroll drop?
They weren't, but we added those.
There we go. So I remember spending months and months and months down killing Dust Devils for a Dragon Chain when Dragon Chains were still worth money.
Back in my day.
Back in my day,
Yeah.
back when the game was properly difficult, not like this easy escape we have in Old School at the moment.
What are you talking about? It's not easy escape.
And yeah, I never remember ever getting one from the end.
People are saying brine rats, trolls, bloodvelds.
Troll would
I
be a
think
good
they're
one.
on Bloodvelds. We definitely added them there. Trolls, yeah, don't think they are. Brine rats,
What about Korask?
we could put them on.
Chorus?
I think
What?
Chorus would do.
Korask.
Koresks.
Yeah, the ones that drop leaf-bladed swords, whatever. Do they drop clues?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Okay. That can be looked at. Slaying asks, can we have some form of buff to gem rocks? Maybe after completing Karamja Hard in the secret mine with a higher mine requirement? He says, maybe a rarer drop rate of giving an uncut dragonstone, or a mega rare drop of an onyx. He said the onyx would be comparable to that of getting like a visage. It's like 1 in 10,000.
No, it'd have to be rarer than that. I think we've got enough Dragonstones in the game as well. And gem rocks do see, in terms of where they sit on the mining table, do see quite a lot of activity. So I don't really think they need a buff.
Okay.
Plus mining, you can just go away.
All right, moving on. Man, you're breaking everyone's dreams today. Dingle asks, can you add a German/UK 2000 total world?
Where is our 2000 total? Oh, we don't have 2000 total.
US, isn't it?
I don't know. I have no idea. I assume it is US because otherwise they wouldn't be asking
Well,
for
yeah,
a German UK one.
I think UK has a 1500 plus.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't immediately see why not. We need to have a look to see if there is a reason to do it. So how many people use the current 2000 world and whatnot? It's one of those things that we can do.
Ooh, a lot of yeses there. Wow, a lot of you guys are 2000 total plus.
No, they're not. They want to get rid of the 2000 total plus people, so they play without them.
Okay. Next question then. Collector, can we get a fairy ring on the lunar island?
Why?
For easier access to the lunar island?
It's not that difficult to access.
Just buy one of those scrolls.
We were just having a discussion about how our game was difficult.
And get around it more.
Okay. In addition to that, he asks, can we get a hold on button for random events? Hold on, I'm killing a boss right now.
Well,
like
random event, there is obviously a demand for
People like
random
random events.
things.
Yeah.
Is there a particular random event they want, or is there a reason why they want these random events?
I think they're kind of like nostalgic. They kind of bring you back. Like, it's just good times, unless it's one of the really annoying ones.
Yeah.
Like the pinball one. That is annoying. Nobody likes that.
You really don't like
No,
it?
I don't.
But yeah, no, it'd be interesting to hear from if the community's got anything to say, which I'm sure they probably have. What random events they want to do, the ones they physically will always do.
Okay, let's see it. Put your favorite random event in the chat.
It's going to be exam and genie.
No, it's gonna be the
Genie.
maze. The maze you make like 30k.
Yeah, maze as well. Yeah.
Or the genie. Yeah, genie's good.
You're better off not doing the maze if you're doing double nets.
Moving on.
Moving on, wait for the chat to go.
XP Waste
Maze.
says, can you consider adding the Dragon Sword as a potential new reward for Monkey Madness 2?
Not that quick, I can't read it. I've seen exam,
Genie.
and maze, and
Somebody said pirate.
genie, drill
Who said the
demon,
pirate?
Evil Bob.
ogres. That's one you like.
Oh, the evil chicken. Good times. I remember like fishing in
I've
Karamja.
never seen an evil
Right.
chicken.
Yeah.
You never seen evil chicken?
Since old school.
Wow. Well, it was the troll. It was the
Like our
fishing
Easter
troll one,
event,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fishing and free to play, and then the troll came up. You brought your strength pot and skimmy, even though you're fishing, and you're like, I'm going to show all these noobs how high I can hit. Some people remember that.
And then if you're AFK, you'd actually die and lose all your feathers.
Okay.
The Dragon Sword, we again do have space for a sort of mid-tier, tier 60 stab weapon, but we've just done the Dragon Warhammer to have
Yeah.
some time in between filling up all these gaps.
There
Otherwise,
isn't really a gap there. I mean, the longsword does well to fill that spot. So it'd have to be like a short sword, wouldn't it?
it would be a short sword.
It'd be a quicker.
And I'd have it stab
Okay.
focused.
Best
But
longsword.
there's not much use for a stab at that level anyway.
I think it'd be nice, kind of like the brackish blade, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. He's got a follow up there asking if you can lower the Sarah Sword special attack energy requirement from 100 to 65%.
Sure. I don't have a
It's
balance.
not a very good special attack, to be fair. More importantly, actually, quick question: does it roll off your magic level, the Sword spec? Is that a Mythbusters thing?
looked
Isn't
this
it?
up and I honestly can't remember. I think it rolls against your opponent's magic defense, but it's
Oh, okay.
the damage is calculated from your melee strength. I
Interesting.
think.
I'm kind of curious. I'm going to look into that. Next question then is my strength 0 asks, can splashing on people with mage spells at wyverns to quote unquote reserve their wyvern for an extended period of time be dealt with? That would be nice.
If you want to create an account and sit there splashing a monster, I don't have too much of an issue with it.
I think it's people
They're
that are
crowded
like
enough, aren't they?
crashing and then just splashing it and
Yeah.
until waiting for someone to log out and get another world. So it's just really annoying people.
Just sounds tedious.
Even
Yeah.
with the task only area.
Yeah, true.
Oh, that is, there's a new area, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how much the community shouts about this.
One interesting thing will be to know is how much stuff the wyvern brings in and how much
Lot.
more stuff it brings into the economy should we open up more wyverns to be attacked.
I don't think it's a matter of opening up new wyverns. If I mean, already as it stands, if you get frozen, somebody else can take it, right? So, I don't
We
know.
should make it all multi.
And let them bring in cannons too, yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
That's dangerous thinking.
I like it.
All right, let's see where are we at. RS Phil asks, currently Ents are considered dead content. How do you feel about allowing us to use Sacred Oil on an Ent log after defeating the Ent, giving us a chance of receiving multiple Pyre logs according to our woodcutting level?
That's
Make
nice.
them more profitable, as well as the Shades of Morton minigame.
I like that. I'm sure we can make it happen.
That's an interesting idea. Okay. Limpwort asks, will the white and black graceful set be coming with the 100% favor patch for Zaya?
No.
No. Straight up no. Brennan asks, can we get a right click to see when a friend was last online on the friends list? Oh, that's a cool idea.
A friend.
Only if he's on their friends list,
Only.
I guess.
Yeah.
Only a friend, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Somebody that you've added to see when they're at least active.
There are privacy issues with that I can see. If somebody doesn't want to know when somebody was last active,
Well, just hide your chat online or offline, right?
yeah. So I mean that's the thing, you know, what it actually means when you were last able to see that person was online.
I would just use it to like hover over somebody's name that I think like, is this person gonna be mad if I delete them? Oh wait, they haven't played in 3 years. It doesn't matter. Delete.
But yeah, it's the other side of things as well, which is you know the people who will use it to stalk others. It's like, oh, you were online last night, but you said you weren't. I'm going to come and sit outside your bedroom window and stalk you or something. That's the sort of thing.
Smile, dude.
Okay, I'll smile.
He's leaving us. Depressing times.
No, right.
Metallic Mage asks, can you add a rune rock or two at the mining hill west of Mage Bank to increase PK activity there?
We've got a lot of rune rocks. Don't want to add too many more.
Mainly
Isn't
for
there
free to
rune
play, I
rocks?
see that being the biggest advantage.
That place where you got to pay 8k, what, 15k?
Motherlode Mine, yeah.
No. You said major.
Or not Motherlode Mine, the resource area.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they have a rune rock there?
They've got loads in there.
Yeah, they got the golems.
Let's do that.
Is that all the questions? Possibly get through all those? No way. Wow, 10 minutes left. I gave more than enough questions in today's stream, anticipating I would have many extras.
You did in your email. You said I think it's going to
Yeah,
get past.
we had way too many questions today. That's crazy. It must not have been. We don't have any in-depth Ash stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it
it.
is.
All right, cool. Move on to some questions from the chat then. If anything pops out, go for it.
Yeah. L Smith 2 says, can we have more room up on the other level of the Motherlode Mine?
There is no more room up there. I think Ash filled it all up. With
They want a higher tier,
Yes, another tier.
another tier at the Motherlode Mine.
Wow.
Well, I have
Sure
to
that's
sit on
not
top of the
good.
existing
Greedy.
veins. There's not
Yeah,
much.
I know. What else we got? Never Stop Killing says, can you guys please change the Wilderness Elite Diary reward for lava dragons, or at least make it toggleable? I don't know what the reward is.
I think it notes the bones. If you've done the Elite Diary and still want to be burying bones, I'm surprised, but we can probably add a toggle for that.
Yeah, if you really want to bury bones, don't go to lavas.
Yeah.
Go to green dragons or something.
Well, you get 4 times prayer XP.
Oh, right, okay.
Conway asks if Lizard Men... I'm taking questions here. Okay. Lizard Men Slayer task. I like that idea.
Can do.
Yeah.
I'd make it
be
unlockable
kinda
in some
cool.
kind of way through the Shizian house.
I'll
Someone
finish
else
asking
can take that name.
questions, yeah.
Alfie?
Bobby Boo. Bobby Boyle.
Bubuse.
Will the God Book poll that passed allow you to choose Armadil Bandos Ancient Book before finishing one of the 3 original ones?
Yeah.
Depends on who devs it and how they feel.
Because you've got to get some feedback from that from the community then.
Yeah.
That is what it boils down to.
I'll have to look at what is currently possible to work. I think once you've completed the quest, you don't have to select one of the original 3, which means I won't mind if you can take one of the others without completing one.
A few people asked about Teleblock for free to play. We poll that.
We discussed polling it. Oh, did we actually poll
We
it?
did once.
Oh.
It didn't pass.
Yeah. I don't know if we polled it against the PvP stuff.
Thought we
or not.
pulled it again, did we not?
Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah, I thought
Or was
we
that
polled
just
it.
a change?
I think we were
of the
going to
look?
pull it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I mean, it's failed once at the very least, that much we remember. I'm sort of 60% sure we polled it in the last lot as well.
I thought we did. Might not have. It might have been
Obviously
something
didn't
similar.
pass, because otherwise we'd remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably not for that one.
Thing is, anything free to play has a very hard time.
Yes, exactly.
That being said, with Abstain now here, might stand a shot. Be worth it. Excuse me, should be worth it. Sir Jimmy, one is resizable interfaces.
I thought we had that. We already have that.
No, in resizing like the chat window and the
Yeah, so
the
again, that's
inventory.
another thing that Ian's working on, and it comes down to the entire point of what's the most important thing for our engine guys to be working on, resizable interfaces, all the other stuff, and it's the other stuff at the moment.
Jobo, more options to mine pure essence. Mined pure essence.
He wants to look after it properly.
Yeah.
How else would you mine pure essence? I
There's
suppose?
there's a thread on Reddit. I didn't take the suggestion just because it would have taken us a very long time to get through. But we can definitely give it a look.
You
I
want
feel
some
like, I,
sort-
feel like I
mean,
should be explaining it now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can't do it
I
properly.
think if you look at essence is some magical thing that breaks through to the world, doesn't it? So maybe you can use magic to mine essence better. Some sort of magic spell which you stand next to a thing of essence and you cast it on it and it returns essence to you in its pure form,
Yeah.
perhaps.
I'm liking what you're building in your
Yeah,
head.
or
Waiting for you to
maybe
finish.
just lumps of essence which you can then take to a bank and then you can chip into your normal essence at a bank.
We've
you
already
can
got
actually
that with.
do less trips to the essence mine itself, maybe something like that.
Sure, we could think of something. There's,
That's
there's
got merit.
several options there.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
something
Yeah.
along those lines. Crack essence spell, so you can cast a spell at the thing, cracks it all into big pieces. You can take big pieces into your inventory.
Can we possibly look at the Staff of the Dead? Currently, it can hit as hard as the Whip and is better at strength training than the Sarah Sword.
Maybe if you've got 1 defense and crappy bonuses, but that's not true.
I don't. It's definitely not better than the Sarah Sword
Yeah.
for strength per hour. Granted, you get to use a defender with it. It can hit as fast. It's not
It
as
is pretty
fast.
strong.
It's definitely not
It
as
can,
fast.
hit, it can hit as hard, but
Yeah.
DPS-wise, it's not even close.
I think it is as fast as a whip.
Maybe if you're fighting a monster that is weaker to crush than slash. I don't know.
Can we get an OpenGL client? Somebody has asked. Now, the question for
People
that.
saying it is better.
Really, Go on.
I'm getting complete. I think we're all getting owned right now.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I haven't used an hour of training with it, to be fair. So
It's fast and
I'll
strong.
look at my
it cannot be
DPS table.
faster. I'm comparing it to the Blessed Sarah Sword. The normal Sarah Sword, maybe it is better than that. That thing is kind of bad. I'd still be very doubtful though.
Yeah. So moving on to OpenGL.
Right.
The reason for OpenGL, which has been touted at us, is so people with big screens can expand the game without worrying from frame rate issues. One of the things that probably the majority of the community won't want with OpenGL is the whole make the game look nicer and turn it into HD version, which there's some people want it, but I don't think by any means 75% want that to happen. They want to keep it looking the same. So the main result from OpenGL people want is to have bigger screens without the frame rate issues, and that can probably be achieved in much easier ways than using OpenGL. One of the things that Ian is going to be looking at some point is whether we can make the game run on more than one computer core. Currently, it works only on one, so if you've got a massive screen, you're doing an awful lot of processing on one core. If we can make it work on more than one core, then that will make that an awful lot easier. So that's something we want to investigate, and that will solve that issue completely. The problem with OpenGL is because who are using your hardware to do the graphic processing rather than the software. Other programs come into it, for example, Z buffering. The graphics card looks at it, it tries to be clever about it and tries to order things in the right sort of order so that it all looks pretty. This doesn't work with our game, which means we'll have to remodel a whole load of stuff to make that work. And if the only solution, or the only reason you want that to happen is so you can have a big monitor, which looks nice and runs at a decent frame rate, then there is a better solution for that out there.
I did not expect you to answer that question in that much detail. It was pretty impressive.
You like that?
Very good.
Yeah. That's the reason.
New construction, garden, and altar.
Soon, TM.
Yeah. Can we finally nerf Silra?
Data.
We just don't know.
We just
We
lowered the
don't know
price
if
of
it's overpowered or
scales.
not. That's the thing. you
How's
know.
that? I mean, yeah, all right. Can you make the left click option on full runecraft pouches empty pouch instead of check?
Yes, we can, if that's what you really want.
Somebody else want to take this one?
Yeah, who's going to use that name?
The blue Audi Father George. Can we have trading posts and Deadman seasonals instead of the GE?
No, not for this time.
Trading posts and Deadman is the question.
Yeah, not for
We-
this time.
we've already-
Maybe one of the future seasons, but not for the first season.
Yeah. Okay. Mikal, can we get a Ring of Wealth, Ring of Dueling, and Games Necklace mounts in our houses?
And Ring of Wealth and Combat Bracelet and Skills Necklace.
Yeah, I've always liked that idea. I always wanted that to happen.
There'll be a jewellery box.
Yeah.
Okay. New construction guard, we already asked that. What happened to the website rework? Concept of, that was a while back.
Yeah, website rework.
Very
But
long
the
time
whole
ago.
point behind it was to make it more mobile friendly. The changes we needed to make took it too far away from what you guys as a community wanted, so we thought we'd knock that on the head.
Thought it
for
looked
the
really
time
nice.
being. It did look very
Shame.
nice, but it was just too different to what people wanted to see when they first
too
got into
modern.
the game.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's life really.
I mean, you ask somebody to make a new website design, they're not going to purposely try to make it, lower graphics, etc.
Well, it's the thing, it's getting the mobile responsiveness mixed with a good design mixed with what our players want to see. They're always three completely different things, so it's not always going to work.
Okay. Matt Ross, what happened? There's that question. Sorry. Why no clue scrolls in birds' nests?
Because we haven't pulled it, have we?
It's the only other one that makes sense.
Wouldn't fit.
I
Oh,
mean,
bird. I mean, I can understand a bird picking up a clue scroll and using it to line their nest. I wouldn't imagine they'd rip it up or anything.
I don't know. It
Maybe
makes as
we
much
ought to-
sense
maybe
as
we
where
ought
do the
to go
bottles
on
come
a trip
from.
to a bird sanctuary to see how they make.
We should really have some
There's a
story
great one in
behind
Vegas.
Great one in Vegas, right? Yeah, go to that one.
this. We should really have some story behind this. Where are these bottles
What if
coming
you-
from fishing?
Person
Right?
who can't complete a clue puts it in a bottle and just throws it in the ocean.
That's a cool idea. Yeah. So an elite that you don't have the requirements for, you say, I'm not going to do this.
Okay,
We stick it
enough
in a
people
bottle.
drop clues, don't they?
Yeah.
Somebody else can take it.
Someone-
Well, we'll have to get birds, because you don't get birds flying around the game picking anything up, which is the only problem with birds' nests. There's not an awful lot of birds to nest in them, which
No,
is
that's
the
true.
problem. A few seagulls, and that's about it. And chickens don't live in birds' nests, as far as I've been told.
Oh, we've just run out of time. Let's get these last couple of questions out of the way. What's going on with Loot Share?
Not a lot.
We said we'd be pulling it very shortly.
There'll be another dev blog, I think. I know Ash is keen to work with Ronan to discuss the options, but we've had just not had time over the last week or so.
So previously with Shard Share not passing, we said we'd pull a vanilla Loot Share, keep it as basic as possible. Probably stick something to like that, but seeing what you guys think, really.
Yeah.
Leahy asks, when will the new PID update be coming?
When Ian gets a chance to look at it.
Another engine one.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get a chance to look at it next week.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it's going to be done next week, it means he gets a chance to look at it, see what needs to be done.
Cool. So, if you guys are unaware, Game Blast is happening tomorrow at noon. What are we, BST, GMT?
GMT.
One of those two. Some really cool stuff happening. Alfie's, well, actually, we can't spoil that, can we? We can't spoil
No,
that.
you can't spoil
No.
it.
Something's
Alfie
happening.
will be there.
You want to watch the stream. Ronan's getting a bowl cut. I'll tell you that one. I've already said that.
A proper bowl.
It's going to be a 24-hour stream for charity. Definitely stop by and check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of goodies up for grabs as well. It's all for a great cause.
Are you
Ian's
burning
printed some
anything?
really cool 3D chin chompas.
They look awesome.
Yeah.
Are you burning anything tomorrow?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's
Really?
I don't know. I'm not.
That's a secret for you, Alfie.
Oh, okay.
Very secret. All right. What else? There's a signed poster of Mod Ash on eBay up for grabs.
That's great.
up
It's
for
over
charity.
100 quid
Over
already.
100 pounds.
100 quid.
Somebody's going to pay for that.
Nuts.
A
I got him to
picture
sign
of
a
Mod Ash
post-it note for
signed.
me.
I'll tell you what, I'd be really worried if a picture of me was
Yeah.
being sold for 100 quid.
There's some awesome
Yeah, at
things
least
being
200 pounds,
auctioned.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez.
There's a load of signed T-shirts by us up for auction as well on the.
Bot busting as well. Yeah.
Oh, don't miss that stream. I think it's at 7 tomorrow.
Very fun stuff. Okay. Aside from that, guys, thank you for watching. Give the stream a follow if you enjoyed. We'll see you next week
Thank you very
or
much.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.